Hi, and welcome to Module 2 HTML Markup. What I want to do with this video is to give you an introduction to Module 2 and what to expect with it. This module here is going to talk about what HTML is and how to do the markup for it. And you'll see here that the learning objectives is to identify, organize, and mark up the HTML sectional elements of a web page from provided content. And while you do this lessons, you'll learn what sectional elements are about. You'll also identify and mark up the typographical type hierarchy of a provided content. So you'll have a page, I'll provide you the material so you don't have to think about that, but then figuring out what's a head, what's a paragraph, what's a block quote, different things like that. And then 3, you'll demonstrate the ability to create a basic web page. That's where, when we come down here with the first assignment, that'll come in handy. For this module, you'll see there are 2 lessons. The first one is basic HTML document structure, and the second one is HTML page sectioning elements. So let's look at lesson 1. Lesson 1, you hear the different pages you'll go through here. We're going to talk about what are the basic structural elements. And to see, I have a video here which goes through, and this is what you need to have in order for a page to work. Then I'm going to give you a list of what some of the more common HTML elements are within a page. Then we'll talk about when you write your web page, you have to use a text editor, and I'll go over some of the different ones that are available. Then there'll be a short exercise here where you write a basic page using something that I provide to you. And the reason I do this is that when you start out, really the best way to do a web page is through practice. Even when painters would paint, when they were apprentices, they would learn from the masters, not saying I'm a master, but they would learn from the masters, and then they would paint what they did. And they would learn the style, they'd learn the technique, they'd learn the craft. That's the same principle we want to do here. Then you'll see this last part here, which will be a click, which will go to lesson number 2. So lesson number 2, see, lesson number 1 is the basic structure to build a page. Now, once you have the page made, there's the content, the structure of the content, the strategy by what you're going to do it. And that's what these sectional elements are all about. Whether that's a header or a navigation, or it's an article or an aside or a footer, whatever these things are, this gets into accessibility, which is a later subject we're going to talk about. Not everyone has a desktop to look at. Some people are looking at it at mobile phones. Some people have disabilities and they're not able to look at it. They have an assistive technology to help them out. And so having these properly marked with sectional elements goes a long way with helping that. Then once we do this, you'll see the last part here was to click on the assignment, which will take you to assignment 1. This is the first graded assignment that you're going to be doing. And you can sort of go through here and you can read about that and what you have to do. You're going to basically take the text that I provide, and you're going to create an HTML page. And there's not a lot of writing, but there's a fair bit to make sure that you get it right. When it looks done, it'll look almost like a Word perfect document. But this is a stepping stone. The first part is to learn HTML. Then we'll learn about CSS, cascading style sheets. Then we'll learn about typography. We'll learn about adding imagery. We'll slowly develop this page to where it looks really nice, and then we'll start working on a second page and using hyperlinks. So this is all a stepping stone, and it's an enjoyable step. So let's get started with lesson 1 in module 2.